President Ferdinand E. Marcos Sr. He was actually the former President of the Republic of the Philippines, and he was born on September 11, 1917 in Surat, Ilocos Norte, Philippines. Marcos came from a political family, with his father being a lawyer and congressman. He studied law at the University of the Philippines and excelled in both academic and extracurricular activities. Marcos also began his political career as a member of the House of Representatives, serving from 1949 to 1959. He also won a seat in the Senate in 1959 and became the Senate President in 1963. In 1965 also, Marcos was elected as the 10th President of the Philippines, serving 2 terms from 1965 to 1986. Marcos declared martial law. This is common issues, especially here in the Philippines, on September 23, 1972, citing the need to restore law and order. This marked the beginning of a period of authoritarian rule, with Marcos consolidating power and suppressing opposition. Martial law lasted until 1981, and Marcos and his family were accused of amazing wealth through corruption and embezzlement. And also in 1986, a popular uprising known as the People Power Revolution led to his ouster and exile in the United States. Marcos was died in Hawaii on September 28, 1989.
As a leader, Marcos exhibited both positive and negative qualities. Here are some aspects of his leadership. Number 1 is strong leadership style. Marcos was known for his strong leadership style and ability to make decisive decisions. He implemented policies and reforms with conviction and was determined to modernize and develop the country. Number 2 is infrastructure development, where Marcos prioritized infrastructure to develop and implemented various projects aimed at improving the country's transportation, communication, and cultural facilities. This demonstrated his vision for a modern and progressive Philippines. Number 3, economic policies. Marcos implemented economic policies that aimed to stimulate industrial growth and attract foreign investments. He promoted import substitution, industrialization, and implemented programs to boost agricultural productivity. However, there were also allegations of corruption and mismanagement of funds during his administration.
Number 5 is the authoritarian rule. Marcos declared martial law in 1972, which led to the suspension of civil liberties and the concentration of power in his hands. Critics argue that this authoritarian rule resulted in human rights abuses, suppression of dissent, and the curtailment of democratic processes. Number 5 is the allegations of corruption. Marcos and his family were accused of amassing vast wealth through corruption and embezzlement. The extent of their alleged ill-gotten wealth became a significant issue during and after his presidency. Number 6 is the legacy of controversy. Marcos' leadership is a subject of controversy and debate. Supporters credit him for his contributions to infrastructures, development, economic growth, and national security. However, critics point to the human rights abuses, corruption, and economic inequality that occurred under his rule.
One of the laws from John C. Maxwell's book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership that can be integrated into the leadership of Ferdinand E. Marcos Sr. is the law of influence. The law of influence states that true leadership is not about position or title, but rather about influence and the ability to positively impact others. Leaders who have influence can inspire and motivate others to take actions and achieve common goals. Ferdinand E. Marcos Sr. demonstrated his influence as a leader through his ability to mobilize support and rally the Filipino people behind his vision for the country. He had a charismatic personality and was able to connect with the masses, gaining their trust and support. However, it is important to note that while Marcos had influence, the way he exercised that influence and that actions he took as a leader are subjects of controversy and debate. The allegations of human rights abuses, corruptions, and authoritarian rule during his presidency have significantly impacted the perception of his leadership.
In summary, Ferdinand E. Marcos Sr. as a leader exhibited both positive and negative qualities. On the positive side, he demonstrated strong leadership skills and had a vision for modernizing and developing the Philippines. He implemented infrastructures, projects, educational reforms, and economic policies aimed at stimulating growth and progress. Marcos had the ability to mobilize support and connect with the masses, gaining their trust and support. The effects of Marcos' leadership were mixed. While there were some positive developments in infrastructure and economic growth, the negative consequences of his regime, including human rights violations, corruptions, and economic inequality, cannot be overlooked. The legacy of his leadership remained a subject of debate and controversy, with differing options on his contribution and the impact of his action in the country.